this is Mr.Skelcy again, and you can see that I'm in my kitchen, and we're kind of making dinner, so you might see some other things on the table here. Hope everybody's doing good. This is, let me think, episode number, I don't know, let me ask my good dog Sam. Sam, how many episodes has this been?
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Oh, he gave 3 roughs, so it must be episode number 3. So, first I'd like to give a shout out to my peeps here. I got Graziella, Valentina, Andrew, Jacob, Brianna, Sarah, Fabian, James, Amanda, Haley, Joseph, Ryan, Brandon, Anthony, Veronica, Jolexa, Chloe, Milana, Asher, Nehemiah, Ava, Annie, Brantley, and Leo, and to everybody else there at Fox. I will always try to get around everybody's name, but I just like to give a shout out there to a few people specifically. Recap from last week. Well, we went outside, did my field trip, and we were looking at the effects of the sun, our star, right here, warming things up again. Here's Earth, oops, that's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and some other stuff out here. So here's Earth, perfect distance, warming things up. What else did we talk about? We made a tornado tube, and oops, upside down. And we did a tornado thingy. Woohoo! And of course, I brought my next character, C3PO. Let's see what he has to say this week.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What? You got a bad feeling? What do you mean?
Why don't we just go into light speed?
Light speed. I'm sure my daughter Caitlin, who's filming this, would like this to go in light speed. We're not doomed. Give me a break.
But where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here, C3PO. So, we did tornado tubes, went on our field trip. We had a lot going on. Now, we also talked about seeds and what's inside the seed. And what we did is we took 2 different seeds and put them in 2 different locations. So the first one here, this is the seed that was outside, or no, it was in the house. This is the seed that was inside the house, Shane had put. I'm just gonna take it out, and that was just a bean I took out of a bag and left this one in the house. Now it was in the dark, so we wanted to see if it was gonna sprout. Obviously it did, it germinated. Then I took a seed outside, did the same thing, and here's something that's kind of cool. Here's one of the beans, nothing happened, but the other bean, you can see there's a size difference, and that's because it was warmed up. I had moved it into the sun for a couple days, and I'm gonna put these back in there and put them back outside to sprout it. Now this one, I'm gonna actually plant it, see if we can see it. I'm just gonna take it, make a little hole for the root, not gonna crush it too much. I got some more dirt. Not gonna bury it or anything. Again, this is something you can do at home. This is your at-home science experiment. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water. And I'm gonna leave this in the house and we're gonna see what happens. And this one, I'm gonna wrap it back up and put it back. Okay, I'm going to show an experiment we started last week, and didn't show it to you guys, but I'm going to, so you can see the results. All right, now this is really cool if you think about this. Inside these beans, these little red beans, is everything that it needs to actually make a plant. Okay, the food is in there, everything. We think of seeds as sort of the beginning, but if you really think about it, seeds are the end of the life cycle of the plant. It's the last thing the seed is going to make, so it can keep making more plants. Okay, so this really is part of the end of a plant's life cycle, and then it starts all over again when we plant these. So we're gonna do a little activity. You can do this at home. You don't have to use these type of beans. You can use different seeds, and that's part of experimenting, is just saying, hey, Can I do this with an apple seed? Can I do this with a piece of popcorn? Because Mr. Skelcy said that was a seed. So think of the different types of seeds you might just have outside. So examples of seeds: apple seed, tomato seed, an almond is a seed, which we eat. This is a red bean. And then, believe it or not, popcorn, all the corn part on the cob is actually seeds. So you eat seeds all the time. We're gonna do a little activity at home, and this is something you can do. You can use some red beans, lima beans, or just some seeds. You might have a seed packet at home, and we're gonna try to germinate these. And you don't need a lot. Just like I said, seeds, some paper towel, some saran wrap or a baggie, and a little tape. And I'm gonna do 2, and I'm gonna explain why in a second. But I can't really do this myself, so I need some help from my son Shane. Hey Shane, can you come and give me a hand?
Sure, Dad.
Hey, you look a lot like Mr. Factoid.
I wonder why.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you get me these paper towel wet? Not soaking wet, but pretty good.
Hot water or cold?
It doesn't matter. All right. So while Shane is getting the paper towel wet, I just got 2 different baggies here. Okay. Nothing special. And what we're going to do is we're going to get that paper towel wet. We're going to put the seeds inside the paper towel, tape this up. We're going to tape one of these to the window, and we're going to stick another one into a dark cabinet and see if they both will start to germinate. Now remember what I said, the seed has all the food it needs inside. So the cool thing about science is sometimes things don't work and sometimes things do work. So, and we're gonna compare the two to see what happens. So, does it really need sunlight to grow? Yes, it does, because the sunlight's gonna warm up the earth, and it does need to be warm in order for the seeds to start to germinate. Oh, there's Shane. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
He wants to go on a bike ride, so we gotta like boogie here with this little experiment. So I'm just wrapping the seed up here. Not too tight, you don't wanna go crazy. I'm gonna stick it inside the baggie. Get in there. Okay. Another one, another seed. Oh, what the heck, I'll put 2 seeds in since I got them. 2 beans. Okay. I'm gonna stick that inside a baggie. And I'm gonna tape them up. Tape. And I'm gonna have Shane tape one to the window behind us, and you can actually see we got green plants growing in our window there. And then I'm gonna have Shane take up the first baggie up to the window. You can see we got green plants, and I've got the seeds in this baggie, and now I'm gonna have him stick it inside a dark cabinet that does not get a lot of light. There you go, Shane. So he's gonna put that in there. So I guess that's sort of like putting a seed into soil. We're using the warmth of the house to see if it's going to germinate. And of course the seed in the window is also using the warmth inside the house, but it's also going to use the warmth from the sunlight. So big thing. I hope you guys see the theme about sunlight today. Our star is really so important to us. We're actually the perfect distance away from the sun to support life on our planet. If we were too close to the sun, we'd be too warm like Venus. If we were too far away from the sun, we'd be colder, or maybe even a different life form. It would be big and hairy like Bigfoot or something. Who knows? But for us right now, this is the perfect distance. So we'll wait and see what happens next week with our seeds. All right, we're gonna get ready to do our next experiment. Hey there, it's Mr. Bananas. How you doing, Mr. Bananas? Good, I'm doing really good. You've been doing some science? I've been doing all sorts of monkey business. Ha 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 ha. Oh, that's a monkey joke, isn't it? Yes, it is. I smell bananas. Stay away. Hey, you know what, Mr. Bananas? Let's see if Mr. Factoid's around. I know you and him are kind of buds. Yeah, let me call Mr. Factoid. Mr. Factoid. Where is this lazy butt? Oh, hey, Mr. Factoid.
Hey.
today's activity for episode number 3, we're going to be talking about things that float in buoyancy, and then I'm going to show you a cool little experiment that you can do right here in your kitchen. Okay, so I got a couple people. Oh, Miss Tom the Tiger, how you doing? I'm doing good. Hey, JJ the Giraffe too. How you guys doing? Good. Social distancing. Just kind of throw each other high five. Hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. Okay. Hey, can you guys help me out? Yeah, we can help you out, Mr.Skelcy. Cool. Can you bring that bowl of water over here? Yeah, both of you gotta be strong. Don't drink that water, Tom. Hey, you. Now, okay, we're gonna do some sink and float. I don't know if you can help me or not, but let's see. I've got some stuff here on the counter, and let's see what you can find. Oh, Tom's trying to, what do you got there? What's he got there, JJ? He's got looks like a cube. It looks like a wooden cube. Throw that in there, Tom. Whoop. It floated. Cool. Okay. That floats. Let's see. How about you, JJ? JJ's going for, looks like what? Marble. Got a little marble. Whoa, look at that thing. That thing just sunk. Let's try some of this fun. Golf ball. If I can get it. Get over here, golf ball. Yay, golf ball. Well, it sunk too. Let me see. Hey, Tom, let's do Tom do something. Oh, guys, you gotta go. See ya. Bye. Okay, these guys can sometimes be a handful. Get it? Puppets, a handful. Let's try I think my kids would call that a dad joke, but anyways. So here's a pencil made of wood. Let's see what happens. Hey, the pencil floats. Cool. And I got a little plastic mouse. Little plastic mouse sunk. So we can see that some things float, some things sink. The reason that may happen is because of their density, how tight those little molecules are packed in together. We know wood is made of a cellulose material, so it will float because of those cells. These other things, the marble, the golf ball, all these little things. Oh, I even had a paper clip. Of course, it sunk. All these things, even though they seem light, their density is probably thicker. The metal's solid, the plastic's probably there's no air in it, it's very dense. All these things just sunk. So the next thing I'm gonna show you guys is how to do a sinking and floating buoyancy experiment. So let me get the stuff ready and we'll get going. All right, so what we're gonna need is some aluminum foil. I got this piece already coming off. So if you got aluminum foil at home, all I'm gonna do, or you're gonna do, pull some out, take a ruler, it's 12 inches, then measure 12 inches over, and I'm going to use a Sharpie to make a mark. And then I'm just going to draw a quick line, and I'm going to get my scissors, and be careful with the scissors, young scientists. We're going to cut that 12 by 12. All right, now I just ripped that other piece off, and it's pretty close in size. So we're going to try something right now, and we're going to do something called a 100 penny float. And we're going to make a boat, and we're going to change the shape, and we're going to talk about why things possibly float. Hopefully they don't make a mess. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this aluminum foil, I'm just going to crunch it up really tight. Because I'm curious to see, is this going to sink or is this going to float? What do you think is going to happen? That's what a good scientist does. They try things and they ask questions. Let's see. It floats. Let me see if I dunk it a little. No, still floating. Okay, so it's pretty light. It must have some air in there. So we scrunched it up. I'm going to try it again. Keeps floating. So what are we going to do now? We're going to take this piece of aluminum foil and we're going to turn it into a boat. How are we going to turn it into a boat? That's really sort of up to you at home. So, and the reason I like to do 12 by 12 is because we want to make sure that we can control our experiment to make sure things are always the same. So I'm just going to start folding this. And a 100 penny float kind of tells you what our goal is try to get 100 pennies to float in our little aluminum boat. You can see I'm bending it up, holding things over. Now, it will eventually sink, I think. Hey, sink, I think. Another dad joke possibly out there somewhere on YouTube. Keep folding it. Okay. So, first thing I want to do is test my boat. Yay! The boat floats! Dr. Seuss would be so proud of me. Okay, now, I just happen to have 100 pennies sitting around, $1. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Still floating. 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so we've got 25 pennies in our boat. Now what's happening here, you're probably wondering, how can a big, shipping cargo ship with all this weight not sink? Well, because it's the design. Inside it's hollow and it's spread out. And then most of these ships are on salt water too. And salt water has a lot of buoyancy. Okay? Salt fills up all the spaces in the water. Fresh water doesn't have as much buoyancy. So what happens with fresh water is when a sea comes through, let's say the St. Lawrence Seaway from the ocean, it really has to change how much weight by taking in or getting more water out of it so it can float better. So it's a little confusing. I think I'm a little confused by that, but buoyancy is what's making this happen though. That's the key thing. So boats will float because of their design. Gravity's pulling it down, but water's also pushing back up on it. So we can do some amazing things, but make some giant ships that can carry cargo. And I stopped at 25 pennies. Let me just take a big old handful. I didn't even count them. I'm just gonna slowly add them. Oh, it's still floating. Cool. More, Mr. Skelcy. There, we sunk it. Do I want to figure out how many pennies there is? Yeah, all I got to do is pull them out of there and count them, and I can see how many pennies it held, hopefully before it floated. So this is something fun you can do. You don't need a clear bowl. If you've got clay at home, you can try this making a clay boat, trying different materials. Just be careful. You don't want to get too messy and spill anything. And again, just experiment with some different designs of boats. You know how I always like to end it. We started off with doctors and nurses. We got to thank them. They do a good job. And then all our essentials workers were on the second week. And this week it's family. Because you know what? It's starting to seem really close and confined sometimes. But you got to hang in there because it's family that what gets us through these hard times. My daughter Caitlin does all the directing. My son is Mr. Factoid Shane. And he also kind of does the prop guy. And of course Mrs. Skelcy. Come on in, guys. Hi. And my daughter Allison is in Columbus, Ohio with her boyfriend Ethan. She's always supportive. All right, have a good Easter, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.